Hey everyone, welcome back to our podcast. I'm David.
And I'm Sarah. Thank you for tuning in again. Today, we have a very interesting topic: podcasts versus YouTube. What helps you learn faster?
That's right. With so many learning platforms out there, it can be hard to choose what's really effective. Some people love watching videos, while others prefer just listening.
Exactly. And both options have their strengths. In this episode, we're going to explore the pros and cons of each and help you decide what works best for your learning style.
We'll also talk about how to use both platforms smartly, especially if you're a student or someone learning a new skill.
By the end of this episode, you'll have a clearer idea of whether you should be pressing play on a YouTube video or plugging in your headphones for a podcast.
So, grab your notebook or just listen closely and let's dive into it.
Let's start with podcasts. David, why do you think podcasts are so popular for learning?
Well, the first reason is flexibility. You can listen to a podcast anywhere, while you're walking, cooking, or on the bus. You don't need to look at a screen.
That's true. I listen to podcasts while I clean my room. It's a great way to learn and still do other things.
Exactly. Another benefit is that podcasts help you improve your listening skills, especially if you're learning a new language like English.
Yes. And most podcasts speak clearly and slowly, which helps beginners understand better.
Also, podcasts are often less distracting. When there's no video, you can focus more on the words and the message.
That's a good point. And many podcasts also have deep conversations, interviews, and real-life stories that can teach you a lot.
And let's not forget they're free and easy to access on platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or even YouTube.
So, to sum up, podcasts are great because they are flexible, improve listening, help with focus, and offer quality content.
Exactly, but what about YouTube? Let's talk about that next. Okay, Sarah, now that we've looked at how both platforms support learning, let's dive into the key differences between podcasts and YouTube. What do you think is the biggest one?
That's a great question, David. I'd say the biggest difference is visual content. YouTube is a visual platform. You get to see diagrams, charts, animations, the speaker's face, and even written words. This helps visual learners a lot. Podcasts, on the other hand, are purely audio. You have to listen carefully and imagine things in your mind.
Right. With YouTube, you can see how things are done, whether it's solving a math problem or watching a science experiment. But podcasts are great when you're on the go, like walking or cleaning, and still want to learn something new.
Exactly. And here's another key difference: attention span. On YouTube, there are lots of distractions. You might start watching a study video and then get recommended a funny cat video. But with podcasts, people usually listen longer. It's easier to stay focused for 20 or even 30 minutes.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Also, YouTube often has shorter videos to keep your attention. But podcasts go deeper, they're more like a conversation, so you get a better explanation and more detail.
And let's not forget about data. Watching YouTube uses more internet data, especially if you're streaming in HD. Podcasts use way less, and you can even download them to listen offline.
That's a really good point, especially for students who don't always have a strong internet connection. So to summarize, YouTube is visual, fast, and better for showing things. Podcasts are audio only, deeper, and better for multitasking and saving data.
Exactly. It all depends on your learning style and your situation. If you need to see how something works, YouTube might be best. But if you just need to understand the concept while doing something else, podcasts are perfect.
Okay, Sarah, we've talked about the key differences between YouTube and podcasts. But now let's talk about something really important: learning styles. Do you think that affects which one is better?
Definitely, David. Everyone learns differently. Some people are visual learners. They need to see things to understand. Charts, images, written notes, they really help. So, for them, YouTube is often the best tool.
Yeah, and others are auditory learners. They learn better by listening. They can remember what they hear in conversations or lectures. So podcasts are great for those learners.
Exactly. And then we have kinesthetic learners, people who learn by doing. They need to take action while learning. For them, both platforms can be useful if they combine learning with movement, like listening to a podcast while walking or watching a tutorial and practicing it at the same time.
So really, it depends on the person. Some students might learn more from a 10-minute YouTube video with animations, while others remember more after listening to a 30-minute podcast during a bus ride.
Right? And there's also the question of comfort and routine. Some people just prefer listening. They put on a podcast every morning like it's part of their life. Others like sitting down, watching a video, and taking notes.
It's interesting how much personal habits shape learning. Like for me, I watch YouTube when I want to see examples. But if I'm cleaning or cooking, I'll play a podcast to keep learning.
Same here. So, in the end, it's not about which platform is better for everyone. It's about which one is better for you. Think about your learning style, your daily routine, and how much time you can focus.
Exactly. The best learning happens when the method fits the person. Okay, Sarah, now we're getting to the real magic. What if we use both, YouTube and podcasts?
Yes, that's the strategy I use the most. I don't see it as a choice anymore. I use podcasts and YouTube together, depending on my goal and situation.
Can you give us an example?
Sure. Let's say I want to learn about digital marketing. I'll start with a YouTube video to understand the basics, because I want to see diagrams and how things work visually. Then, when I go for a walk or do housework, I'll listen to a podcast on the same topic to go deeper and reinforce the concepts.
That's smart. YouTube helps you start, and podcasts help you remember and reflect.
Exactly. And sometimes it's the opposite. I listen to a podcast first to get inspired or hear real life stories. Then I go to YouTube to find a tutorial or watch someone explain it with examples.
That way, you get both depth and clarity. And you can review the same topic in two different formats.
Yes, it also helps you stay focused. If I feel tired of watching screens, I just put on a podcast. Or if I feel distracted while listening, I switch to video. It keeps learning fresh and flexible.
And with both tools, you can learn anywhere. In bed, on the bus, during lunch, at the gym. You're not limited to one situation.
Exactly. Podcasts are great for passive moments when you can't look at a screen. And YouTube is great for active learning when you want to take notes or follow steps.
So the real power is not in choosing one or the other. It's in combining both based on your needs and time.
Yes, that's the secret to learning faster and smarter.
Now, Sarah, let's talk about something very important. Which one is better for learning English? Podcast or YouTube?
Honestly, both can help a lot, but it depends on your level and your learning style.
Can you explain that?
Sure, if you're a beginner, I usually recommend starting with YouTube. Why? Because you need to see the expressions, subtitles, and even body language. Visual support really helps when you don't know many words yet.
That makes sense. Videos can show you context, so you understand more even if your vocabulary is small.
Exactly. And you can pause, replay, and read subtitles to follow along. It gives you more control.
And what about podcasts?
Podcasts are excellent when you reach intermediate or advanced levels. They help you train your ears and improve your listening skills in a natural way.
So if someone wants to speak more fluently, listening to podcasts regularly will help?
Yes, you'll get used to the rhythm of English, the intonation, and real life conversations. But I always say, don't just listen. You should repeat out loud, take notes, and maybe write a summary.
So for English learners, Start with YouTube for visual support and understanding. Use podcasts later for fluency and listening practice.
That's a perfect summary. And don't forget, it's not about choosing one. Use both when possible. Watch a YouTube video and then listen to a podcast on the same topic.
That's how you learn deeply, naturally, and quickly. We've talked about a lot today, Sarah, but before we finish, do you have any final tips for our listeners?
Absolutely. Whether you choose podcasts or YouTube or both, the most important thing is to be consistent. A little bit every day is much better than a lot once a week.
So you're saying we should make it a habit?
Yes, even just 10 minutes a day can change everything. You can listen while walking, cooking, or even before sleeping. The key is to stay in contact with English daily.
And what if someone feels lazy or unmotivated?
Choose content that excites you. Don't just study English, live it. If you love football, watch football interviews. If you love fashion, follow fashion YouTubers in English. That's how you enjoy learning.
That's powerful. So it's not just about the tool, it's about choosing the right content and building a habit.
Exactly. And don't compare yourself to others. Everyone learns at a different speed. Just keep going and trust the process.
I love that. So, Sarah, to close this episode, what's one sentence you want everyone to remember?
It's not about learning fast. It's about learning forever.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Sarah. And to our listeners, whether you're Team Podcast or Team YouTube, just remember to keep learning, keep practicing, and keep believing in yourself.
See you in the next episode, friends.